That's what happened. But on the way home, I stopped at 7-Eleven, and this is a little chicken place that, Calvin knows all the all the little duck and flops. You know what I'm saying? And you sit down and he orders this deep fried chicken. They fry a whole chicken like that. So I always sit there, and there was a girl working there, and her name was, I'm gonna show you a picture of her. In fact, I put it right here. Poof, this is her on her Facebook. And so uh, her name is Tess. So I'm talking. So I know Tess hasn't got a boyfriend. I know Tess hasn't got a husband. She has a 17-year-old child like that. So anyway, so I'm chatting with Tess, and then I said, Tess, I said, can I see your Facebook? And she showed me her Facebook, and I went, damn. I said, you were looking good there, girl. So then I explained that, because where she's working at, she's working at Grease Fest. Grease, she got grease burns on her arm from grease popping. A couple of pops on Facebook, she might have got burned. Like this, a real hazardous job when you're deep frying a whole chicken. You know what I'm saying? So I said, wait. So I went and got my phone, and I plugged her into Chris. I said, look, I have a friend on what you mean, because Chris is gonna love this girl. So I said, I'm gonna give him your information. She said, okay. And like I said, I told her it'd be a couple of years before he comes to the Philippines, but maybe you have a conversation with him. She said, okay. So that's what I'm talking about. So the point of the matter is when one door closes, another one opens. And so I'm able to send Chris a nice Filipino girl for him to, chat with. So anyway, let's move on. That was the second part of, question asked. Surprisingly enough, she's having my baby. She's having a baby, which I told you a story about two women who went to extremes to have a child. There's no comments on that. I don't know why, if something was unable to break on it or whatever. But let's go to the next one. Say you really love me, Gianna. Say you really love me, Janelle. This is the one I sung the song "All This Love to My Daughters," and uh, he says, uh, "This is from Cloud Cloud IB8. Okay, haha. Keep having fun as long as you're happy. Well, I thank you. I'm gonna do my best, my brother. I'm having my fun. I've come to learn that my best friend and my worst enemy is me. So I made a decision a long time ago to be my best friend, because sometimes how can you be a friend to somebody else if you're not a friend to yourself? How can you ask someone to go somewhere if you don't know where you want to go? You know, how can you want to tell somebody to watch a movie if you don't know what kind of movie to watch? So it's you know when I'm alone, I'm in I'm in good company. So. And so yeah, I'm enjoying myself, and having you, someone to talk to, in a moment of time when I want to talk to somebody. This blog serves as a lot more than I can show you videos from back in Vegas, where I'm just talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Before I even knew anything about YouTube or monetization or anything, because to me it was all therapy. It was all about therapy. Having the thoughts going through my mind take some type of shape or form and come out of my mouth as words. And so you are important to me, because you are someone who I want to talk to. This YouTube channel. Okay. So yeah, I'm having fun. Thank you. This is from um, all all ALLANC 7267. This is uh, when I sung All This Love. He says L came to Portland. He's talking about El Jabaj. And when you talk about the DeBarge brothers, when I was doing Billy Preston's album cover, I'll say this real quick story. I've already decided I'm gonna make this into two parts, so just bear with me, because I'm gonna get through some of the comments that I hadn't gotten to yet. When I was doing Billy Preston's album cover, I spent a week in Topanga Canyons with Billy Preston. At that time, Diana, the mother of my kids, she was pregnant with Gianna, and I was also his pharmacist. So I would come every night and take pictures of him in the studio with Paulina DeCasa, Joe Hicks, Ralph, whatever his name is, the engineer. It was on Sheikah Productions. If you never heard of Sheikah Productions was uh, owned by the wife of this very wealthy Arab guy. There was a story back in the day where he bought this mansion, and all the Greek statues that he had on his property, he had them put genitals on them. Because most of them were broken up, so he had them put genitals on them. So anyway, so he became kind of eccentric for doing that type of thing. So his wife was backing the label. So after we did the studio session, we would go back to Billy Preston's ranch, in Topanga Canyons, where he continued recording the album. No, just play. He was on a high. He was wired for sound. And if I'm gonna see if I can pull a picture of the one was on the Billy Preston story, because I'm gonna put that right here. So anyway, I would go back and I had a recorder that I always had my recorder on, record, the things that he was saying. So I would be sitting on the piano stool with him, and my being his pharmacist, he like this, and I would go, la 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 la, like this. And so we're sitting there, and I'm gonna get to the story about the DeBarge, because this is what it's about. And I told Billy, I said, only thing I know on the piano, Billy, is the faking scale. So the next night we came in the session, he said, play that hook, play it. And the name of the song is Get Down, I think Get Down. And it was he incorporated that little hook that I was doing into a song. And I was like blown away. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like, oh my goodness, I might have a tear in my eye, because I was the inspiration for that song. Now, Sheikah Production, him and his wife ended up having a fallout. So he yanked her funding. Sheikah Production closed. We had to wait for the Beatles organization to give him permission to do here, there, and everywhere. And there was a record company and by this time I already done the album cover. I did the front. I mean, Diana did the front with her graphics, and I did the back with my collages, because I was notorious for my collages. So anyway, the bars. Okay, anyway, the album cover that we did got distributed in Europe, but the company that came in and took over the label, was in San Francisco, and they changed the cover and they put out, I think, an album called Back at It, which is the name of the album. You see him; he's on the cover with a tux. So if you listen to those songs, that's the part where I was at. But anyway, there was one night I was at Billy's house, and we were going to go on a beer run. And I didn't know it at the time, but it was DeBarge and his brothers. So, because I was never starstruck and all that stuff like that because they hung around with Billy. So they were going to Bill run, and they'd ask him, Billy, can we take the roles? And Billy said, yeah, take the roles. So I said, Billy, can I go? I never been in the roles. He said, yeah, yeah, Gerard, go, go, go. So when I went to get into the roles, they said, no, no, you stop. You can't come. I said, okay, okay, okay. If they knew that I was the pharmacist for Billy Preston, I'm sure they would have welcomed me in that role because they were all doing it at that time. I wasn't indulging at that time. I was not getting a high on my own supply at that time, but they were. Um, so when you say, I know he was feeling good, I know he was feeling good. I know you know what I mean. Yes, I do know what you mean for El Jabaj and those guys. They really went through the ringer as far as dealing with drugs and all that stuff like that. So be that as it may. So thanks for letting me you go back there. You know. So let me see. Did I do all the comments? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Like I said, I know this is going to go over a little bit, so it's okay. This one is on calling all comments like we're doing here today. Um, and let me see. This one is uh, uh, William James. Uh, I think William James. And let me see. Okay. No, it's not going to do it that way. It's William James. He says, "What's up, my brother? This was 3 days ago. I'm on top of the world, baby boy. I'm on top of the world, living my best life. If you want to know the truth about it, I hope you're doing just as well." And this one is from James Wilson. James Wilson writes, "Your acknowledgement of your subscribers' comments is one of my favorite things about your channel." He says, "You're connecting us to the beauty of the tropical island of the Philippines. My goal is to live there soon. Salute, Gerard Black in the Philippines." Why, thank you, my brother. Thank you. I don't know how many channels do this, but something tells me there's going to be a few more. Because imitation is definitely a form of flattery. But thank you very much for acknowledging that. I enjoy incorporating you into my channel because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have a channel. So why wouldn't I want to share with you some of the comments are being made about my channel, whether they're good or bad? It doesn't matter, I got thick skin, but the most important that if there's something you heard or something you enjoy or some portion of it that I do, let me know. And of course, I can say hit the like button, do that, subscribe, share, like all that stuff. Okay, but thank you for that. This is from Rag Jamrock. Having a man around at a young age can make a huge difference in the life. Make sure Mia understands what you're trying to instill in them. They will thank you one day. And he's right. He's right. Young boys, do need a man in their life. You know, um, and I instill in them. I like to think about being responsible and providing. You know, I don't hit them over the head with. Do you know? Do you know? The oldest one. Sometime I have a piece of pork on the fork, and his wrist his wrist is going like this because it's so big, and he's trying to eat it. So he got like this, and I'm just watching. I said, oh, yeah, I'm thinking to myself, he's good. So what I try to instill in them is don't do as I say, do as I do. Take care. Be responsible. You know what I'm saying? And so, just like, and every now and then I tell them, one day you're going to, have a family, and you have to be responsible for that family, and um, and that's what I hope that they'll see. I hope they will see that yeah, he really took care of us. He really loved my mother. You know, he was a good man. You know what I'm saying, like this, because I know the alternative. Sometimes I look at the little one, and I move toward a little one, and he flinches. And his eyes get big like this, and that's a sign of him having been abused at some point. And I'm not too far off the mark, because one of her boyfriends, when he wouldn't let them sleep in the house with him. You know, he had them sleeping outside on the doorstep. You know, you know, uh, he was really not, and demanded that they call him daddy. And didn't want her. Another one didn't want him seeing her children. They couldn't come over the house. You know what I'm saying? So I know they've seen what a bad man is or could be. You know. So it. I try to hold them closer. I still hug them. I still kiss them. I let them know I love them. And I even told them, I said, look, you don't have to. You don't have to love me. You know, you don't even have to like me. But it doesn't stop me from liking and loving you, because that's what I do. You know. So anyway, yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, Reg Jamrock, having a man around is important. Oh, this is from James Wilson. James Wilson, oh, my neck and my back. I didn't quite understood what he was talking about, because when he said, "Oh, my neck and my back," I thought he was talking about the song "My Neck and My Back." It's a black song. You forget it. I don't want to tell you about it. But he was talking about the accident story I was telling you about, the guy who I backed up into his little bumper, and he got out, oh, my neck and my back, like that. Yeah, that's just what it was like there. Thanks for clarifying it, James, and uh, thanks for making sure that we are on the same track, like I asked you to do. Um, okay. And Bob Willow says, very good blog today. Thank you. Okay, I guess I'm going to stop right there. What's interesting is that I'm going through my blogs, and uh, I'm looking at um, my blogs, and I see that some of my comments I'm probably about a month, 2 months, 3 months behind, because I guess this was during the time when I was moving, and I wasn't able to comment with them as long as I wasn't able to comment on them. And some of you who I have commented in a video, just like now, I'm commenting, I'm responding to your comment on video. So when I go into the um, uh, my channel, and I go to comments, and I'm gonna put, I answered you in the video. So that means the video after this, uh, 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 I answered your comment. So you just have to just watch it and you'll see. So I don't think it's necessary for me to have to say the same thing twice just by typing. So anyway, so thank you for stopping by my channel again. You mean the world to me. I'm scheduled to go to Cebu in the next couple of days. My housekeeper is leaving. I have a good guard. That's all I'm going to say. So she's going to Manila. I think her brother's sending her ticket, and she's going there. She doesn't know if she's coming back. If she comes back, if she doesn't. I mean, let me tell you. She has been one of the best housekeepers we've had. She's always working. You know, you know, I'll tell you this story about her. You know, I smoke cigarettes, and I have the only tool I use out of my toolbox is this socket. You see, and it's in each ashtray because when I get my cigarettes low, I put it inside the socket like this. Let me get closer. You get to see it. I put it inside the socket like that, and it puts the cigarette out and puts the smoke out. I don't like smelling burning cigarettes. So anyway, I tell her when they're long, don't throw them away because I for some other reason because sometimes I don't smoke a whole cigarette all the way down, and I just I put it out that way. So yesterday morning, I think it was yesterday morning or something like this, I left one out here in the ashtray, and so that was the only cigarette I had. I had one inside this because you see I keep my cigarettes inside this little container here. I had one inside there, and I knew I had the second backup outside. So I get up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee, and I have my cigarette. And then, when I went to have my second cigarette, I walked out to here and look over there, and it was empty. I said, "Where is it?" And so I went to the garbage, and I saw a cigarette. It was all wet and all that stuff. So I took it out and I put it on the table. Didn't I tell you, do not throw out my cigarettes when they're that long? Which was in my heart to really harp on it, if she understood English. But she does it. She does it. I'll put her on the video before she leaves, so this way you get to see a real good look at her. And so when she comes downstairs, and I tell her, oh wait, and she went around. Now, mind you, I'm thinking about jumping on my scooter. Here it is at 3 o'clock in the morning, and go driving somewhere and find me a cigarette. Not really. I can wait, but don't think the thought has not crossed my mind. So anyway, and I'm watching her, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? And then she comes around a corner, and she has a box of Newport of Marlboros with like 4 sticks in it. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Oh, you are special." I mean, the thing, Mia, I know Mia had something to do with it. Or maybe she didn't have something to do with it. Maybe she took it upon herself that I know he's going to run out of cigarettes, so let me just take 4 and put it up here for when he does, because she always has to be the one to go get them. Or maybe when she opens up a pack, she takes out a few of them and put them away. But I was like so surprised. I was like so surprised that she had done that. You know, you know. Uh, it reminds me of when some of my clients I used to have when I was moving too fast, and when I was um, a pharmacist. That when I go to someone's house and I sell them their medication, I would go in their bathroom and I would put some medication somewhere. I would hide it. I would hide it, and then they're gonna call me. They're gonna call, yo, G, can you come back by? We haven't got no money. Like this. And I said, look, go in your bathroom, look under the plant, and you'll see what I left you. Oh, G, I don't want to get started telling a story like this. There are a lot of stories that were, I was above and beyond the call of duty. We'll leave it at that. So we're in it right there. Thanks for watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly. Always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, formerly singing the Temptation One song, treat him like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king. My little fan. Make him feel like a king. And remember, I always love you more. There was something else I was going to throw out there. But anyway, okay. So we'll leave it at that. Okay. I always love you more. Love you like a love song, baby. I'll talk to you later. Peace.